The twin suns of Borealis. 3 were setting, casting a muted gold glow over my dusty repair bay. Business had been slow, too slow for a mechanic trying to keep a roof from collapsing over his head. So when I heard the heavy clang of metal feet outside my hangar, followed by the low hum of a ship losing power, I didn't waste time. I grabbed my toolkit and jogged toward the landing pad. A small craft, sleek but scorched from atmospheric entry, sputtered as it touched down. The engines coughed one last time before dying completely. The hatch opened with a shaky hiss. From the ship stepped a figure cloaked in a dark hood. The person moved with elegance, but with exhaustion too. I couldn't see her face, not even a glimpse, but I could tell she was injured. Her posture was too stiff, too defensive for someone healthy. "Easy," I said carefully. "You need help." She turned sharply toward me. I felt her eyes assessing everything, my stance, my tools, my intentions. "Your presence was unexpected," she said in a smooth but tired voice. "But my ship's engines have failed. I require immediate repair."
She didn't ask.
She commanded. But I needed the work. "All right," I said. "I'll take a look." She stepped aside, allowing me access. Inside the engine chamber, I found the issue quickly: overheated plasma coils, cracked fuel tubing, and a failing energy distributor. "You must have flown this thing through a star storm," I muttered. There was a pause. "Something like that," she said quietly. The way she said it made my skin prickle. Whoever she was, she wasn't just some traveler. While I worked, she stood silently near the hatch, almost guarding it. Watching. Listening. Her gloved hands never left her side. I finished replacing the damaged tubing and recalibrated the coils. When I started resynchronizing the distributor, I asked lightly, "So, where are you headed?" She hesitated. "Somewhere safe," she replied. That didn't sound like a normal answer. Or a normal life. Still, I didn't press. Mechanics learn fast. The less you ask, the more likely someone pays in full. And this stranger felt like someone who could pay more than full. Middle. The moment her hood came off. After 2 hours of fixing, testing, and retesting, the engine gave a smooth, healthy hum. Its first in what must have been days. "You're all set," I said. "Should hold for another few thousand kilometers. Just avoid any more star storms, or whatever you flew through." She approached slowly. "You repaired it alone?" she asked. I shrugged. "It's what I do." She was silent for a long time, too long. Then she lowered her head and lifted her hands. Before I realized her intention, she pulled back her hood. I froze. Underneath was not just a woman, not just an alien, but a face I had seen broadcast across star systems. Queen Valiara, ruler of the Lysian Dominion, one of the most powerful monarchs alive. A woman known not only for her unmatched command over her empire, but also for being fiercely private, almost never showing her face in public. Most people had only seen stylized images, echoes of her presence. But here she stood, real, breathing, vulnerable, and impossibly beautiful in a way that made my throat tighten. Her silver-blue skin shimmered faintly under the lights of my repair bay. Her eyes were deep violet, filled with wisdom, sadness, exhaustion, and trust. "You," I breathed. "You're." "Yes," she said softly. "And I ask you not to kneel." I hadn't even realized I was starting to. She stepped closer. "You repaired my ship when you didn't know who I was," she said. "You helped me without fear, without hesitation." I swallowed. "Why hide your identity?" Her expression hardened. "Because there are those who want me dead." My stomach dropped. Assassins? Her silence was confirmation enough. "I escaped," she continued, but my royal ship was shot down. I fled in the auxiliary craft. I landed here because the scans showed a single human, alone, isolated, unarmed. She looked directly into my eyes. You were the safest option. Never in my life had something that sounded like an insult made me feel so honored. And now, I asked quietly. And now, she said, I owe you a debt. The word debt coming from an alien queen could mean anything, from financial reward to diplomatic favor. But standing there, inches away, her gaze locked onto mine, I felt something more, something unexpected, unspoken, something human. Before either of us could say more, a proximity alert blared from her ship. Her eyes widened. They found me. The chase, the choice, and the risk. The sky erupted with the thunder of approaching crafts. 3 dark ships descended, sleek, armored vessels bearing the insignia of the Queen's rival faction. The same faction that had attempted to kill her. We need to get you out of here, I said. We, she repeated. Yeah, unless you plan to fight 3 assault ships alone. She stared at me like she was evaluating my soul, measuring the weight of my determination. Then she nodded. Inside.
Now.
We sprinted into her craft. I sealed the hatch behind us while she raced to the cockpit. You repaired the engines, she said breathlessly. But can they flee under pressure? I grinned. If they can't, I'll fix them mid-flight. The smallest smile touched her lips. Faint, uncertain, but real.
Then hold on, she said.
The engines roared, stronger than ever, launching us upward as lasers tore into the ground behind us. The cockpit shook violently, but the ship held together. My repairs holding the line between life and annihilation. Give me power to rear thrusters, she commanded. On it. I rerouted energy manually, sparks flying from the panel. She steered the ship through the canyon, avoiding fire with graceful, impossible maneuvers. You're good at this, I said. She replied, and you're risking your life for a queen you just met. Most queens don't remove their hoods in front of random mechanics, I shot back. She glanced at me, just a second, and in her eyes was something more powerful than fear or command. Something like gratitude. Finally, after a tense chase that felt like a lifetime, the pursuing ships peeled away, losing signal. We made it, I whispered. Queen Valiara let out a slow breath, shoulders relaxing for the first time since we met. You saved my life, she said. I guess we're even now. She looked at me like she wished that were true, but knew it wasn't. Ending. Her final decision. We landed on a quiet moon far from danger. As the engines cooled, the Queen stood in the open hatch, watching the unfamiliar landscape with calm relief. I joined her. So, I said, what happens now? You go home? To your throne. She was silent for a moment. Then she turned toward me slowly, too slowly, and I realized she had made a decision before speaking it. You repaired my ship without knowing me. You risked your life without being asked. You did not kneel when you recognized me. Her voice softened. Humans are strange. Thanks. She smiled again, small, but genuine. I return to my throne soon, she said. But I will not forget what you did. And I will not forget you. I felt my pulse quicken. Does that mean? She stepped closer. If you ever choose to visit the Lysian Dominion, she whispered, you will not be a stranger. A pause. You will be under my personal protection. Protection, I repeated. Or invitation? Her violet eyes glowed faintly. Both. She placed her hand lightly over mine. For now, our paths must separate. But know this, you have earned something rare from a queen. What's that? I asked. Her voice dropped to a whisper. My trust. With that, She lowered her hood, one last time, and boarded her ship. As the engines lifted her craft into the sky, I stood there watching the Queen disappear into the stars. Not as a mechanic who once repaired her engine, but as a man she had promised to return to. And somewhere in my chest, hope flickered like a new dawn.